Hello, welcome to Beach View, our podcast. We talk about things and stuff, and a lot of times, this topic.
Music. Specifically, we're doing another mixtape, the Beach View Mixtape Volume 2, with lots of surprises in store, and potentially a theme this time. How exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited. So our theme this time was electronic music.
Yes.
So some songs that had some sort of electronic music. I don't know. So we'll start with, we each came up with 4 songs. And we'll go ahead and jump into mine. So my first one was Manchester Life by Tom Holkenborg. Have you ever heard of this artist?
No, and from what I gathered, I'm not sure this is like a popular artist, because it's from a TV show. Like, yeah. That's the first thing I noticed when it's like music
it's
from
that
a
TV show
you talked about on the podcast, so.
Yes, it's from White Lines, and I was like, I don't know what to do for electronic music, and I'm like, wait, that show had a lot of electronic music because it was like based on this DJ and, you know, that kind of thing. It was in Ibiza, and so I was like, let me see what song was on there. So, hence Manchester Life. But I really like this song because it's just like chill and it reminds me of the show. So, what did you think?
Well, one, I'm not sure this is an electronic song.
I don't know. It seemed like it was.
This sounds like rock to me. Like, just, it was very, like, late 90s, early 2000s rock. Like, I mean, it's all instrumental, but it sounded like a rock song.
I thought it had some electronic elements to it, though. No? Okay, I failed.
The thing with that is, like, where do you draw the line?
Well, see, that's what I don't know. Like, I have no idea. Like, electronic is like, techno, EDM, like, you know, I don't know. This, to me, sounded electronic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm bad at this. But I think it's kind of like a chill, you know, the chill song. I liked it.
Yeah. It definitely, you know, I could tell listening to it. This is interstitial music for a TV show. Either something you play, like, in between scenes or, like, at the end of an episode or something. This is kind of like that sort of music.
Yeah. Well, so Manchester Life may not be as electronic as I thought then. But, you know, still a pretty chill beat, so it makes me feel like my life is a soundtrack and I can just play this and
yeah, it's definitely a soundtrack. I mean, it's literally a soundtrack song.
Yeah.
So it has that feeling to it.
Has some mood music, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a neat short instrumental track. I like this genre. This late it felt like a take on, like a modern take, but like on late 90s, early 2000s rock stuff.
Yeah, so. I got the same feeling of that. Like, it sounded kind of nostalgic, but still modern. Yeah. Which you find a lot in TV shows now.
Yeah, well.
I feel like, yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. All right, well, song number 2.
Yes, Woodpecker No. 1 by Merzbow. Or Merzbow. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's German, but this is a Japanese artist.
Oh.
It's from the 1996 album Pulse Demon, and this is an example of noise music.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to know what you thought about this one.
Well, I put it on, and my cat did not like it at all. I'll say that. She looked very alarmed and kept, like, looking at the phone as if something was wrong. So I thought that was really funny. This one was reminiscent, for me, of the AOL dial-up music. I say music, the dial-up noise. I think anybody over the age of, I don't know, when did AOL go away? Not that it went away, but you know what I mean. When did dial-up go away? It depends on
where you live, too.
Yeah.
Like, some places had dial-up well into the, 2010s.
Okay, well, I'll say anyone who has heard the dial-up music will definitely think of this song, I feel like. It's a little different, but it's got that staticky kind of like, makes you notice it kind of sound. I didn't mind it, but I was kind of like, yeah, I don't know that I would really listen to this again. What did you think?
Yeah, so, I picked this because it's kind of like a famous example of noise music, which I might be cheating on, whether or not you consider this music, much less electronic music.
You're right. So both of our first songs were a little on the edge of electronic.
Well, I mean, this was made with,
yeah,
electronic instruments, for lack of a better term. I mean, that's not an acoustic sound, that's not like a...
Right. Definitely an electronic sound, you're right about that. I think everyone out there should take a listen to the song Woodpecker No. 1. I think it'll blow your mind. So, yeah, I thought it was very funny, though, that my cat's reaction. I was like, I know, It's hard to take in.
But yeah, Merzbow is a Japanese noise musician. He's a very prolific artist, and he's been active for decades, so he has, like, a bunch of work. You, like, go look up his discography, and it's just, like, tons and tons of stuff.
What?
Yeah, and this album is one of his most famous ones, as far as I know.
Oh.
Obviously, he's kind of like an underground artist, but, like, as far as noise musicians go, he's on the more famous side, and this is one of the more well-known ones. As for the music itself, I like the low continuous blip noise that's in the background that kind of serves as like a percussion element.
Oh.
But that's about it, though. Like, I'd say I like it, and I guess I do conceptually, but listening to it, I don't really, like, feel anything in particular about it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my thing, too. Like, you can listen to it, but I was like, okay, like, that's noise.
Yeah.
There's not really any kind of other reaction to it, for me.
Yeah, if I listen to noise music, I prefer it to be noise with something else instead of pure noise, so something like noise pop or noise rock.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's a lot more my style, but I still thought this was an interesting pick.
It was. I like when we throw those curveballs in there, so this one's definitely different than the rest.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so song number 3. This song is Feel Right by Wolfgang Gartner, featuring Hart. This was on the album 10 Ways to Steal Home Plate, and it was released in 2016. So what did you think of this one?
I didn't care for this. I thought it was boring pop EDM stuff.
Yeah, I didn't think you would. I called it.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, I think it's just like boring pop EDM stuff. I mean, doesn't bother me at all. Did this fit the electronic, though?
Yeah, definitely. It's just, I feel like I've heard 30 different versions of this exact song, and I'm like...
I mean, probably.
I've never been a fan of this genre, so...
Yeah, and would this be considered EDM?
I think so. I mean, I'm not great at, like, determining electronic genres, but as far as I'm aware, yes.
Yeah, I don't understand either, like, what differentiates, like, different electronic genres either, so... But I figured let me throw a kind of a poppy, more popular one in there, So, I mean, yeah. I could chill to this song. I could be out by the pool chilling to this song, so,
Yeah.
Didn't bother me. But, everybody has their own taste.
Yeah.
What would you think is better, this one or the last one?
For...
the noise one or this one?
I mean, like I said again, I find the noise one more conceptually interesting, but, like...
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I mean, if I had to choose between which one I'd rather listen to, I would pick Woodpecker No. 1, honestly. At least it's not boring.
No, I would pick this one. I'm sorry. This is where our paths diverge.
It's definitely a lot more chill.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, I could see, like, if I had, like, a bad headache, I wouldn't be able to listen to the
Oh,
noise
definitely.
song, Woodpecker. But if I had a bad headache, I could listen to this one, you know? So, actually, I probably couldn't because of the beat. I'd probably be like, oh, turn it off. But anyway, yeah. So, okay, well, everyone has their own opinions. All right, song number 4 then.
Yep. The Mines in the Catacombs from Kingsfield 4. So, this is composed by Tsukasa Saito. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. This is a Japanese composer for the game Kingsfield 4, or Kingsfield the Ancient City, as it was called in the US.
Oh, yeah. I liked it. I thought it was good. It's definitely sounded like it was video game, like, music, but it kind of it has that cool vibe, like you're on a quest. Do you get that same vibe?
Yeah, I guess. It's more eerie to me than, questy, but...
Yeah. It's pretty chill, though. I liked how chill it was. Definitely gave me the feels of video, like I said, like you're playing a game. I think even if I didn't know, the name of the song and stuff, or that it was from that game, I think I would probably still think, oh, this sounds like it's, background,
Yeah.
So I think it definitely is a good example from that genre, and it's definitely got electronic elements there, right?
Yes. But, yes, again with the, sort of genre stuff, this is electronic because of, technological limitations. I could see if this had come out later, this would be, a full orchestrated thing, rather than, an electronic piece.
Okay.
But you're not really going to be able to do that on the PlayStation 2. Because just, the technological limitations of consoles. I think
okay.
at this point you could probably start doing that, maybe even, the PlayStation 1, but I know a lot of older games are, have a lot of limitations to what they're able to store and what they're able to, play,
okay.
the types of sounds they're able to produce.
That makes sense. Okay. So, I'm wondering, is this, a genre all its own in that, do you think people listen to this outside of the video game world?
I doubt it. But, I could see it coming up, maybe?
Yeah.
I would consider this ambient electronic music.
Yeah, I like that.
It could fit into that. You could throw it onto a playlist with other, ambient artists, and I don't think anybody would say anything,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, maybe I ought to try that. Maybe I ought to make a whole list for sitting by the pool, I could get down to this.
But yeah, so, this is, if you haven't noticed, named after the locations in the game it plays in.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to pick a song from a video game, that's why I picked this. And actually, I think that's an interesting, there's a difference between video game music and other types of music, in that video game music is meant to loop continuously.
Ah.
And, as far as I'm aware, that's not really a feature of other, places you hear music. Maybe for stuff that's, playing overhead in speakers, or, something from an art piece in a museum or something.
Yeah, good point.
Which I think is just, interesting just because of the nature of the medium, that, the song you got from another work of art is from a TV show, and that's not meant to be, looped continuously.
Right.
Because you have full control over when the song starts and stops when you're editing.
Right,
and
that's
in a
true.
video game, you're sitting there oh, well, the player's gonna be running around or just, standing still or doing a bunch of other things that, you need something that plays in the background and it needs to be able to keep going.
Yeah. I like how if you hear it though, it'll probably, if you play these games, obviously, it'll remind you of that, part of the game, because you probably hear it so much in the game.
Well, you hear it in the mines and the catacombs.
Right, yeah. But wouldn't it remind you, if you just heard the song, you would connect it with that, right? So, I think my coworker has, her ringtone is, the Super Mario from, forever ago, ringtone, or, theme music, and, it's just funny, because it just, brings me right back to, when I used to try to play those games way back, like when I was a little kid, you know? So I'm wondering, does this have the same effect on you, like if you just heard this randomly?
Oh, well, if I hear video game music, generally, yes, but I haven't actually played this game.
Oh, you haven't played it.
I watched a playthrough of it. Yeah.
Okay, well that's
It's
different.
an older game, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, have you, some interesting lineage for this and, the developers that, made it. Have you heard of Dark Souls or Elden Ring?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, Dark Souls is a popular video game series, and they're all fantasy action RPGs about doing things in a dying world, and Elden Ring is by the same developers, and it's a similar sort of thing that came out earlier this year. And it's a collaboration with George R.R. Martin, the Game of Thrones guy.
Oh.
I believe it's the best-selling video game of this year. If it isn't now, it was around the time it came out.
That's pretty cool.
And this game is sort of like the spiritual predecessor to those games. So.
Oh, spiritual predecessor.
Yeah, it's by the same development team, and it has a lot of the, obviously the people have changed over the years comparing something from 20 years ago to now, but it has, some of the same stuff, it's of a lineage.
That's kind of cool.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that is really cool. And so it's interesting that this is another Japanese artist, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure you find that a lot, because a lot of games are from Japanese developers.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool.
Which, actually, speaking of, that is my second theme that I did mostly on accident.
Yeah?
Was international artists. None of the ones I picked are American.
I don't know that any of mine are either, but I didn't look it up.
Yeah, but, I like this, track. It's a nice little ambient electronic track. It's very eerie. I really like the melody and the, timbre of the synths.
Oh, yes, I like that as well. I feel like it definitely fits the Mines and Catacombs theme. So I think it's definitely, the next time I'm exploring a mine or a catacomb, I'm gonna remember to take out my phone and play this song.
Well, you might go in a catacomb, that's like a tourist attraction in some places.
Well, I know anytime I went to Rome, I never did the catacombs tour because I'm claustrophobic. I don't really like being underground. I don't necessarily mind the skeletons, but I don't like being enclosed, I was like, nah, I'm gonna skip that one. Yeah, I think I've just seen too many movies where I feel like something would happen and I would get stuck down there and eventually run out of air. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, next song?
Alright, next song is Cold Light by KC Lights, featuring Leo Stannard. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Stannard, maybe. On the album Cold Light, released in 2021. So, thoughts? What do you think?
First thought, I was like, oh, this is more pop EDM stuff, so also boring. But then I got into it a bit more, and I'm like, okay, this is at least a bit more distinctive than the last one that you picked.
It is, yeah. It's definitely it's definitely more distinctive. I think it's funny that you're like, boring.
Yeah, I mean, it's more interesting than the last one. It's got some, reggae and R&B influence in there, so.
It's definitely, it's got some influences. That's why I liked it, because it's a little bit, different than the, you're saying, the kind of pop EDM stuff. But I liked it. I thought it was, a different kind of sound than the normal, electronic stuff that I hear,
Yeah. Sure, it has a good beat to it, and it's got a solid vocal performance. Even though I don't like the genre, it's definitely not like a I've heard 30 different versions of this song sort of deal.
Yeah, right. And I think, okay, so that's another interesting point about, the lyrics that, some songs don't have any lyrics necessarily, but this is, a full-on song.
Yes.
But I was like, what is the cold light? What does that mean? But it just sounds, the first line is lost in this late night. So anyway, like I read through the lyrics too, and I was like, oh, this sounds pretty interesting. So I like that aspect of it. I mean, I would give this a listen again, for sure. Again, I think it passes like the chill beats vibes, so
yeah.
I'd put this on my like low-key chill soundtrack. If you haven't noticed, I really like to chill by the pool. I talk about it a lot, so
comes up a lot in your music choices.
Yeah, that's like I'm always looking for the right vibe, So this to me is the right vibe. So I could, I definitely could jam to this.
I think maybe our next mixtape theme should be a reverse of that, like an anxious high key sort of mixtape.
Yes, exactly. Everything I pick is like, this is chill, let's listen to this.
Which, actually, I picked chill stuff except for the one, so...
Yeah, that's true, you did. And even the one, it's not like it's not chill.
I don't know about
different.
that. I think if you're like, yeah, let's chill out by the pool, let me get my chill playlist, and you put on Woodpecker No. 1, people are gonna look at you like, that's relaxing to you?
That's true. Like, this is definitely, like, you're playing dial-up? No. Yeah. I like it. Okay, so, Cold Light, I think is, I'd definitely listen to it again, so, I think it's a solid pick on my part.
Well, yeah, I would have to agree, given what I said.
Yeah.
Definitely like it better than the other EDM
See?
songs. So.
Just had to give it a chance.
I mean, I wouldn't listen to it on my own, but you know, it's not bad. It's got its charms, I suppose.
It does. I'm glad you agree. All right. So, the next one, I forget what number we're on.
6, I think. Which actually, that's kind of funny, because the song title is 4 by Aphex Twin.
We should have coordinated that.
Maybe so. But it's from the 1996 album, Richard D. James album, and Aphex Twin is an influential British electronic musician. He's been around since the, early 90s and has influenced a lot of, music that's come since. He's rather popular in that scene. And he's actually Cornish. Cornwall is the southern peninsula bit of England. And I don't, being not from the UK, don't know, the different regional identities with regard to that, but I do know it has its own language.
Oh.
And some of Aphex Twin's song titles are in Cornish, so...
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So what'd you think of this one?
Well, I like this song, and I've heard of Aphex Twin.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have been able to, pick it out of a, just, come up with a name on my own, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, I've heard of that person, yeah, or that artist. So, I like this song. I thought it was a good song. I thought it was a good pick.
Yeah. It's interesting, too, for this, because it's a fast song, but it's still kind of like a chill song,
Yeah, I agree. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I don't remember if I've ever heard this song in particular, just because I said, I've heard of the artist, but I wouldn't be able to, again, pick out what music it is. So I think this song was new to me, and I thought it was just a really, I would definitely listen to it again.
Yeah, I think it's enjoyable. It's got this, jittery electronic percussion that's, going very fast, and it has this, strings and keyboard sort of thing in the background, and it's this nice little string melody. I think it's a really cool song.
Yeah, I don't know enough about, the instrumentation to really speak on it, but I think you did a great job just now. But that's why, when I'm going through this music, I'm like, yeah, I like the vibe. I can't really,
you can't
pick out specifically.
Pick out that it's like a violin.
I mean, I can pick out, some things, but I feel like I can't really speak intelligently about it. I'm just always I like the beat. I think it's got some good instruments. But I'm I wouldn't be able to, like...
Like, the stuff I say isn't, like...
I think it is. I mean, to me, I just, like, when you talk about the different instruments or the percussion or the timbre and stuff like that, I don't really, get that technical. And you say it's not technical, but to me, it's definitely really more technical than the level that I'm at, so...
Like, pointing out the different instruments is really basic, like, listening. Like, you take a... like, they teach that in elementary school music classes, I'm pretty sure.
I must have missed that. Look, I missed a lot of school. Okay, but next time I'm going to make it a point to pick out the instruments and try to have an intelligent conversation about it. So, but my review of this is that I like it.
All right. Yeah, well, I like it too, so.
Yeah, if you need any more song recommendations, just come to me. So. All right. Any more about 4?
Nope. Next song.
Okay, so this was my kind of, like, funny pick.
Funny?
It's funny to me because it's nostalgic to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
This song, Castles in the Sky, by Ian Van Dahl, and it came out in 2002, and it was on the album Ace, and this song just brought me back to 2002, okay? So, we went through this whole period around the early 2000s where it was like we were dancing, like, and jamming to techno, and I thought it was just a funny, like, this song, anybody my age will know this song. So that's why I picked it. And it's one of those ones that you hear, well, not that I hear it often, but when I went to play it, I was like, yeah, like, it just brings you right back to 2002. So that's why I picked it. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I was, immediately noticed this is older electronic.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, this is techno, right? I'm pretty sure that's the name for that genre.
Yes, techno, yes.
Okay.
I don't know the differences.
I don't either.
But I was listening to it with Travis, and he's like, it's really funny because it sounds older. Like, the electronic music now has just a different sound to it. It just sounds more complex and, whatever now. Whereas back then, it was, this was, again, 20 years ago. We thought it was, like, really cool then, but if you look at the progression from 20 years to now, it's like, yeah, you could tell it's an older, techno beat.
Yeah, I feel like, I'm sure music like this still exists, but I feel like the kind of places this would get played, like clubs and stuff, and like dances and like, nightclub scenes and films, that it has been replaced with mostly EDM stuff, so.
Yes. I agree, and I honestly don't really know, like, what the differences in the genre are, but you can tell there's a difference,
Yeah.
But this, to me, is still a good beat. Like, I could still, like, hang out to this.
I was like, it's got the Boots and Cats beat.
Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah, I will say, this has never been my favorite genre, but I generally speaking like this era of electronic music better than the more modern stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd say I like this better than the other 2 songs you picked.
Good, I'm glad. I wanted to just give you a dose of, like, what I was doing when I was a teenager, so I don't know why we thought, like, we would, like put this really loud when we're, like, driving in our cars somewhere, and I'm like, this is why people got in wrecks. No, I'm just kidding. But it's just definitely like a nostalgic thing. And I remember having a legit mixtape CD with this song on it.
Oh, so, okay. Throwback.
Yeah, so I was like, this is perfect.
But did that mix CD have Woodpecker #1 on it?
No, it did not. It definitely didn't have any noise songs on there, which is probably a good thing. I probably wouldn't have been as open-minded about it back in the day.
Well, it did come out in 1996, so you could have, theoretically.
I could have put it on there. I could have put that into LimeWire, Napster, BearShare, downloaded it. I probably would have thought something was wrong, though. Like, I downloaded a dummy version of this. Yeah. Yeah, like Trav still makes fun of me because I know I've mentioned this before. Like, I had a song on a mixed CD that, like, I was listening to, it's been a long time since I listened to it, but when we first started dating, and it had, like, a beep through it at certain parts. Like, it would be, like, the song would be playing, and it would go beep. And he's like, how did you keep this song on here? And I was like, I don't even notice it. Like, it blends in. So you used to get some terrible versions. So I probably back then would have thought Woodpecker was, like, a mistake version of the song.
Yeah, but for this one, I don't know. The synths are alright.
Yeah.
Like I said, it feels like a typical example of the, like, electronic music of its era, like that techno stuff.
Yeah. It's definitely, like, one of the, I guess, main examples of techno that used to be very popular.
Yeah, I will say, the vocals feel superfluous to me. Like, you could take them out entirely and the song wouldn't lose anything.
You could, but I think that was, like, the style.
Yeah.
Back then, so I like the vocals just because, I mean, like I said, I kind of grew up singing along to them.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they're there, right?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know that if you would like this one or not. Like, I was kind of like, I don't know if he'll like this one. I'm going to throw it in anyway.
Not my favorite, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Alright, well. So, next song, Am I Dreaming by Yukari from the 2012 album Echo. Yukari was a Korean electronic / pop / like dream pop musician. She's since changed her stage name to Asul.
Oh.
I think I'm pronouncing that right, I don't know. What'd you think of this one?
I really liked this one. I thought this one was really good. I liked the beat to it. I liked the kind of ambiance. But no, I put this on not knowing what to expect, and I was like, oh, this is a good one. I liked it.
Yeah, well, when you start out with Woodpecker #1, you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is definitely a chill, low-key sort of song, as you'd put it.
Yes. I'm glad that's catching on. Yeah, I think so too. I would definitely put this on a playlist.
Yeah, this is definitely more on the pop side compared to my other song choices. It's definitely got more of that to it. It's very atmospheric, I think. The synths are very, like, weighty, for lack of a better term. And I like the piano throughout it.
I do too. The piano is nice. I could pick that out. Thank you very much. I thought it was like a really nice, again, I'm not getting into any technical terms, but it had a good feel to it. And I would definitely listen to more by this artist. So I was just looking up a couple of the artists for my song picks to see if they were all international. And I thought they were until I got to Wolfgang Gartner, and he was actually born in California. So I was like, oh, never mind. I really thought that, like, Wolfgang was European, but no, right here in California.
Yep. Yeah, all of mine were, and all of yours were except one. So interesting secondary theme we have there.
Yeah, and of all the ones, I really thought that one would have been European, but his real name is Joseph Youngman, so there you go. Yeah, interesting. So, yeah, and I don't know, I was looking at, like, the different genres, and they're, like, house electro, house progressive, like, trance, techno, EDM, like, there's more and more, and I just, like, I honestly have no idea, like, what is the difference between all of these?
I'm not too good with electronic genres. I know EDM's got that very, like, Avicii sort of feel. That's my, like, quintessential pick.
Yes. I was gonna put an Avicii song on here, too.
No. I think trance is usually more like, ambient-ish and a lot, like, less lyrically focused and a lot more just, like, it keeps going.
Yeah.
I don't know about house. I've heard the term. I don't have a good, like, understanding of what that means, though.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. I feel like, I don't know, house is more like, when I think of house, I feel like it's more like beat driven, but I don't know if that's really it at all. That's just what I think of.
But yeah, so that's our second mixtape.
Yeah.
How do you think this one all fits together? Like, if you listen to it as a mixtape, how would it go?
I think it would fit well together because it's all part of some kind of electronic genre, whether we know which exact genre it is or not. But I really think the only, like, outlier, like, say if I was gonna listen to this as a mixtape, is the Woodpecker one. Because it's noise, but
yes.
I think the rest would really, like, flow well together.
Yeah, unlike our last one, which was just a hodgepodge of different things, this one's got, it's both electronic and it's chill low-key, as you would put it, so.
Yes, yeah, I like that, and that's the vibe, again, with my vibe, that I like when I'm making a playlist. I have, like, different, like, feelings, like this one's chill low-key. Another one might be like good beats that I want to dance to, whatever. So I liked doing it this way where we had like a theme because it all kind of went together.
Yeah. Yeah, our last one was definitely a lot more...
all over the place.
All over the place mix. Yeah, that's been our mixtape, Volume 2. Do you have anything else to say, or I'll take us out?
I do not. Let's take it out.
Alright, well, that's been our podcast, Beach View. Hope you enjoyed and tune in next time for more stuff and/or things. Bye!
Bye!